Hi, guys. Welcome back. We're here for, oh, geez. We've done What the Hell Is That? Synchronicities. And I'm sure that she's going to blare right now what this episode is going to be about.
I don't know yet.
Yes, but you do. I know it's coming to you. It depends on where we go with it.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
trying to show my eyes.
Without further ado, though,
because I'm going to make some really messed up eye faces during this segment. I need people to see my eyes because I'm going to be going a lot. Just saying.
Okay, so we were talking about the wink, and that was the last thing you heard me talk about. Just to give you a brief overview, I was completely in hell, and she had completely found heaven. That sums it up.
True, because my life from at that point had, well, not at that point, but up until that point, or 2 years before that, had really just been a lot of hell. I had very abusive childhood. I smoked some weed, did a lot of drinking when I was younger. I was in a 13-year marriage, had 3 beautiful daughters, found a soulmate relationship, lasted about a year. Then I got into another relationship, and that ended badly, and then I took a 2-year sabbatical.
Gee. Well, we're not going to go back to come forward so much to the point, because that does come. We will explain why to go back to go forward. It makes a lot of sense. Me, I was just a mess. I was at that time that I met you. Christian was 10. No, he's probably he was up there. Just thinking. It was a mess. I was a mess. I was always doing what I was doing. And the wink happened. Right. And we started chatting. I think you actually had sent me a message, and I responded. And it was, casual conversation. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just, good, kind of cute. I was like, you're kind of cute too. And, he was thinking, okay, where's this going to go? I was thinking,
Well, I was working.
How am I going to fit this into my schedule? So I had to think about it.
I was doing that all from work.
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah. Sure was.
Doing it all from work. Working.
But I was on the road a lot when I was working.
And
because I was district manager at that point. Mm-hmm. And I was driving all over. I mean, I was all over the tri-state. I was even driving back to Tennessee. I was driving everywhere. Mm-hmm. And so we decided, she lived on the east side of town, west side of town. And, I said, well, why don't we meet up? And we decided to meet up at a pizza place, of all places. Mm-hmm. And, I told her I would be there. It was about noon or 1 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like at 12:30 because my business closed down from noon to 3.
Yeah.
And
she was late.
And I met at...
I was standing out. And, really? Okay, so then, of course, I'm standing outside my car going, okay.
Well, no, I've got to tell the story because that's a good part of my story. Because it was like a fairy tale type of thing. Well, to me it was. Because when I pulled into the parking lot, there was this little white car. I couldn't even tell you what kind of car it was, but
Sebring.
Okay, it's beautiful. Cute little car. I wasn't paying attention to the car, but just the way you were standing, leaned up against the back end of the car. Your one foot was kind of up on the bumper, bent, right?
Yep.
Bent up. You had on black pants. I love those black pants.
Okay.
I love those black pants. Black dress pants and a blue shirt and a tie. I think it was a black tie, actually. Black pants, a blue shirt, and a black tie. Black shoes. They were real shiny and pretty. And I don't know, there was this glow of like, oh, when I pulled up. It's true. It's just when I looked at you, I thought, oh my God, that can't be him. Oh yeah, that's him. Whoa. That's how I felt. Just like, whoa. Wow. So then my butterflies came and my heart started beating because, I was kind of cocky back then. So when I pulled up, I was like, yeah, we'll see what goes on here with this cat. But when I saw you, it was like I completely melted into like this tub of shit. Just like, and then I was like, oh shit, do I look okay? I mean, I didn't fix my hair, and yeah.
And I was a mess.
I was so like taken by this physical being.
Mm.
Yeah.
You could see it. I couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so taken.
I was. Oh, wonderful to meet you. Yeah, and my brain was already going 25,000 miles an hour because I wasn't living in the moment.
Right.
So, for me, it was.
Time.
It was time, but there was a moment in time where we went into the restaurant and we were sitting down and we started to talk and, just simple, small talk.
He ordered a red wine and you know what I mean? I thought, oh, okay, so this guy.
Miller Lite and.
Oh, yeah, I just got a beer. So.
Works at the gym.
This guy, I did work at the gym. And it was lunchtime. It was beer 30 or something. But, yeah, he ordered a red wine. I thought, oh, God.
Sorry, Vera. That date on the treadmill, that would be her fault for not watching how fast it was going. Sorry, your 79 butt flew off the damn thing. But that's a different story. We'll get there.
So, right.
So,
yeah, when you ordered the red wine, I thought, okay, so he's a little eccentric.
Yeah.
I'm a wine drinker, too, but,
The thing about when I did that, though, I remember that was probably the first time I caught your eyes. Mm. And to me, wait a minute, I didn't pay attention to that. I didn't see it that way before. Mm. And it loosened me up a little bit. Because I thought, okay.
Sure it wasn't the wine?
No, it was before. I was sipping the wine, I looked over and I saw your eyes looking at me, and I was like...
Well, I couldn't help but look. It was...
And that feeling, I didn't know what that feeling was. I didn't know what it was. I just knew that, that was a really strange feeling. But it felt kind of good at the same time. It didn't feel...
I'll tell you what I felt. I felt like I probably ought not say anything.
Okay.
That's what I didn't do, is talk too much.
No.
Because
You seem to always be quiet. You didn't really say...
Because I didn't have any words, because you took them. And when I did have them, they came out all messed up.
Remember, I was telling you
really
I was completely in my mind. So if my brain activity had to be very high, it just took her words. Don't know why that works. You can still do it. But anyway, so what ended up happening is we just talked for a little bit. And
Sat down, had a couple drinks.
And then, I was like, okay, well, I need to get going. And she said, well, yeah, I'm going to get back. And that was our first meet.
And I went back and opened the club back up at 3. And you called. And I was like, it took me a minute. It took me a minute with the phone in my hand to stop shaking long enough to answer the phone. And when I did, it took me a minute to get the hello out because it was like... Hence
came the first email. Stutter much?
Hello? And you were like, are you okay?
Yeah. You
like, so I had to act cool. Right. So I had to act cool and be like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know. But it was great meeting you. And
yeah. So, yeah, we started emailing back and forth.
Emailing back and forth. Well, here that goes. Because I was ready to see him again, like,
That
now.
night.
and I'm like, yeah, but here's the key when you first meet somebody, and we didn't understand this connection. I just thought he was hot. And at that point, right? Just thought he was hot. And then, but I wanted to see that hotness again quickly. So, but you're careful though when you meet somebody new that you don't want to come across too pushy, and you don't want to come across as needy. You don't want to come across as a little fast. You want to take it easy and play it kind of cool without going, hey, let's get together tonight and make this happen.
I couldn't do that. I had too many things to do.
What kind of things did you have to do, Lee?
Well, I had to check in everywhere.
Tell everybody what you had to do.
to check in.
Can we tell everybody what you had to do?
Well, at that point, wasn't I was going that night. I think I had gone from there to Elizabethtown.
Okay.
Didn't I?
I don't know.
Probably did. Anyway, I probably was traveling because, I tried not to go home as much as possible.
Well, what was at home, Lee?
Well, my girlfriend was at home.
Oh, okay.
Not my wife, my girlfriend. And
your wife was?
Living someplace else.
Okay.
And she didn't know about my girlfriend.
Did the girlfriend know about the wife?
No. Yeah, she did, but she didn't know that we were... No.
Okay.
No, I guess you could say no. Because the way that I was piecing it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was going to Elizabethtown, and there was somebody there.
Somebody there.
So, anyway.
What about when you went to Georgetown?
Chillicothe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there somebody there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And when you went to Dayton? Somebody was there?
Middletown. But, this really kind of, I get it. I like
Do you
this.
think they got it?
But here's the thing. Yeah, I know they got it.
Okay.
Especially. But it was, I was just going. So I was just going and going. And I was, I consistently had to stay ahead. I had to stay ahead of everything. And
isn't that stressful?
Oh my God, yeah. I could, I was grinding my teeth in my sleep and was tossing and turning and was all the signs of when you're hiding inside yourself when they start to surface. You're not right, and you talk very, very fast. And then when somebody asks you something, you don't want to be bothered with, especially if it's something feeling. So I would say 90% of the time I was unemotionally available.
For me at that time, I was single and I was dating. So I would go out on dates and go out to dinner and just...
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No,
I was dating. I was just dating. And I wasn't really interested in anything too serious at that point. I was just having fun. I was dating.
Yeah.
I was hanging out.
So, when I come back to town, it was a few weeks gone by before we...
Few weeks of emailing and some texting.
Hey, you want to get together? Sure. What did you have in mind? Come on over. Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
Head on over to her apartment.
Let me tell this, because this was a hot mess.
Something like that.
I was a wreck when he confirmed that he was coming over. A wreck. I couldn't function at work. I had a coworker that I said, I have to go back to my office. I can't even function right now. I went back there. I couldn't function to do anything. So I went across the street and I had a beer. Had a BW3s real quick. And then I went home to get myself together. I tore the closet up looking for something to wear. Literally tore it up. Tore the closet up. There was clothes everywhere. Everywhere. It's 2 hours before meet time. clothes everywhere. I couldn't find the right shirt. So I left the apartment and went down to the department store, to find a shirt to wear.
All this to come to her house.
Yeah. He was coming over to the house. We wasn't going out. So I go down the street to this little strip mall. I found a shirt pretty quickly. So then I'm thinking, now I don't have any shoes to go with the new shirt. So I had to find a pair of shoes. So I found a pair of shoes. So I go back home. I get in the shower, get myself together. I'm a wreck. I have to put my closet back together because I tore it apart. It was a wreck. I'm not functioning correctly at this point. My palms are sweaty. I'm pouring sweat. I've got every fan in the house on. I'm clammy. I feel like a 12-year-old girl about to go on a freaking homecoming dance. And I'm ready about a half an hour early. So I start peeking out the blinds.
Sounds kind of stalkerish, doesn't it?
I start peeking out the blinds for this man. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's probably not going to show, and you go through all that mess, and you start peeking out the blinds, and I see the white car pull in the driveway. At this point in time, I feel like I'm about to throw up. My stomach is in knots. I'm a wreck. The beer didn't help at all. I should have had 5 more. And it was a nightmare, but it was a fun nightmare. But what I wanted to do was video this specimen coming up to my door so I can show all my friends. Look at this guy that's come to my house. Oh my God. And when you got out of the car, and I'm peeking through the blinds, when you got out of the car, I couldn't breathe. And I thought, well, shit, I'm not going to be able to talk.
So I walk across the street. I go up some stairs, knock on the door. She home. She comes to the door, all cool. Opens the door. I say hi. She goes, hi. I'm like, okay. Come in. She says, would you like to see? Do you want something to drink? I said, sure. So, just got this nice little TV. We're sitting there and, minimal conversation. I'm going, something up? What's going on? I'm like, are you okay? I mean, are you still having stuttering issues? And she didn't know what to say. So I said, okay, well, if you can't speak. And I kissed her. And I kissed her. And I kissed her. And then I opened my eyes and I looked into hers. And I could not stop kissing her. The magnetic pull of whatever this was took my words and her words. And we didn't know what to do. So we just kept kissing.
We kept kissing.
Over.
And
I don't even think time even moved.
Eyes open.
But it was like it's like we could see into the other and talk.
That was the strangest thing for me, because what I would do was I was kissing him and eyes are open and I'm looking in his eyes as we're kissing. Yeah. But I didn't see pupils, and I saw depth. I saw into you. Mm-hmm. It was a very spiritual experience. I saw into you.
For her. Scared the hell out of me.
But then there was thoughts going through my head like, wait a minute, if I can see into him, what if he could see into me?
And then that's when the polarity switched.
That was a little bit.
And then when I pulled back and just started asking the questions which she couldn't answer. So, that was probably a good hour.
That was probably a couple hours, yes.
Okay. And then it didn't go any further. I mean, the kissing was passionate enough, and it happened everywhere, and it was just, I don't even know how to explain it to you.
We did kiss
everywhere.
Everywhere.
And
yeah,
we're saying it was like the room moved to, I don't even know how to explain it. I'm still stunned on how I could even say it. So, I ended up going out to my car when I left. I'm going to kiss bye, and she was... I was like,
speak.
Talk to you later.
And I'm thinking to myself, no, you won't.
So I get out to my car.
Because I can't speak.
And I see her just kind of look out the blind and pull away. And then I get lost because I have no sense of direction at all when I leave there. And now, mind you, I'm driving all day, all the time, and I know my way around. But I was lost. I had no sense of where I was. So, yeah, that changed something in me. But at the same time, I was like, ooh, I want to do that again. I mean, I just didn't understand it, but I understood something. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to go any further. I just wanted that because that was like a piece of the puzzle to me for some reason. It was like I had the piece of the puzzle but didn't even know where I put the puzzle. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, yeah, so that
I had to go back to work.
Yeah, I called her.
And he did call.
Are you there? Just tap 1 if yes. Tap 2 if no.
And my coworker was like, "Do you need me to answer the phone for you? What's really going on?" Perhaps we should text. Perhaps we should text.
And texting wasn't that big in 05.
Right.
It really wasn't. But
perhaps we should text because this speaking thing isn't working out well for me. But I answered the phone and I heard his voice. And as soon as I heard his voice, and I wanted to say lots of things. Come back was trying to come out. Just come back. Just come back. Just come back. But I was playing it cool. Like, what is this? It was all right. It was nice seeing you.
Yeah, see you again soon.
Hope to see you again soon, really.
And we did.
And we, well, yeah, there was lots of emails. Where you at? How you doing?
Now, during this time, I was writing.
Mm-hmm.
I was writing. I was writing, I think even the post that we put on twinflames.me, a sample of that is there in that post. But I was writing a lot of stuff like that and was sharing it with the world. Yeah. And, but there were some that I started writing after this experience with her that really just kind of, it was like I knew I had different words in me that I had not chosen before.
Yeah, and he would email me these stories and these erotic stories and these writings, and I would read them and I would, put myself in them and
that's where they came from.
And I'm like, whoa, he is speaking a language that I understand, but I couldn't speak any language. But I'm trying to figure out what he's saying that is so different from than what everybody else says. And I was I would go home at night and I would check my email all day, but I would go home at night, hope that from the 1 minute drive that I had from work to home, that there was an email, and I would get home and then I'd be like, okay, and I would talk to myself out loud. Sherry, just act right? There were other times when I had dates with somebody else. I would get ready. I'd be like, let's just get through this date and hope maybe when I get home there's an email. And I would get through the date and all these great guys and good-looking guys even. And nothing.
Nope. Not a word.
Nothing.
I had too much to do.
Yeah. And I would talk to myself, well, there's this guy's great, and he has a lot to offer, and you have a lot to offer him, and maybe you should give him another chance. And I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling anything. I just was so excited to get that email from him. It didn't matter to me who it was, and there wasn't any other person that I had ever felt that way with. So I thought, okay, this is completely insane. And I can remember that there was this one certain guy that kept driving me nuts to go out with him. And he was just gorgeous. And I had 2 or 3 friends, and they're telling me, this guy, he looked like a soap opera star. It was unbelievable. Nothing. I felt nothing. Yeah, he's cute. Just adorable. He's adorable. Email from this guy? No emails from this guy? But when he did email, then it was like, hey, when can I see you again? When can you come back around? And 2 or 3 days later, he would call. Yeah. What are you doing tomorrow? I'll be up in the area.
Yeah. I had a story.
Go ahead.
And came and saw you again. And the same thing happened again. And this time she actually had a neighbor there with her, so she had proof that I existed. Because nobody believed.
She wasn't my neighbor. She lived with me. She stayed with me.
This
was a girl that I had taken in. She was down on her luck, and I had taken in. She was staying in my spare bedroom briefly for like a 3-week period until she got her apartment together. And she actually gave her a job. She worked with me. And she had just gotten a car like that day. And I said, well, you can't leave until... Because I had shown her pictures of you, and she
lost her words. And
she was like, no. I'd shown her a bunch of pictures of you, and she's like, whatever. I said, I'm telling you, this man's showing up at the place today. And you're not leaving until you see this specimen walk up to our place.
What pictures did you show her?
The pictures that you had sent me. We don't want to publish those. They weren't bad pictures. You were clothed, but they're just...
Is that the one, though? I see one. It just came to me. I know which pictures you're talking about.
Yes, that's that one.
Okay, all right. See, telepathy.
Oh, we got a show on telepathy coming anyway.
We'll get
So she said, okay, but as soon as he gets here, I'm leaving. Because she had to be back at work. So I said, I don't care. You're just coming in to see that this guy right here is coming in.
Yeah.
When he pulled up the driveway, here we go, peeking out the blinds again.
I'm like,
here he is. Come here. Look.
Shit, man, what's up?
Look. Come here and look. She was like, hot damn. I said, yeah, I know. Now you can go back to work.
Right. So of course, here I am coming up the steps, and here she is coming by me. And she's like, how you doing? I'm like, okay. All right. And I was like, hi. And of course, she's... like, oh, are you kidding me? You don't have them now? So immediately, it was immediate. The energy was just so raw, but it was so powerful. And once the kiss, time was gone again. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like we were knocked unconscious, but we were completely awake and aware. And
this went on for months.
Yeah, it
months.
did. And the conversation, as you can tell, she didn't have any words.
There
was nothing being said.
And then, as months started to go by,
you moved.
I did. I moved from an apartment to a house.
Yep.
And
I started.
The CD. We cannot not tell them about the CD.
So I because I drove a lot, and I was listening to a lot of music. So I had the CD. That I said, I want to kiss her to the CD. So, of course, I take the CD in. And
it's got some great stuff on it. Some Charlie Wilson.
Oh, it's got
Aaron Hall.
This one had a bunch of
girl, make sure it's nasty, and you gotta make sure it's
yeah. Anyway, I'm sure she'll sample something for you at some point.
Oh, yeah.
So the CD played, and when I put it in, we started to kiss. And when it ended, we were still kissing. And it was probably about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And from that point on, we both became almost hypnotized whenever we listened to the CD. We still have it today.
I listened to that CD over and over and over. And when I moved, I was playing the CD as I was putting things up on the walls and unpacking and anticipating you coming over to the new house. And
it's strange because even when I moved, when you moved into that new house, when I came there, I felt my presence there. So it's very strange. That started to be the beginning of the end.
And
of the first chapter.
It was odd because I was dating other people, and so let's touch on that a little bit. I was dating people. People were in and out of the house.
Kept yourself busy. I
kept myself busy, and then you were doing what?
Everything else. I was still traveling a lot. I was seeing different people here and there, and I had actually I'd slowed down, but I didn't slow down enough. But I was starting to become. There was something about the kiss that just seemed to pull me back, and our communication was really good then. But then
it started getting frustrating for me.
For her, it was frustrating. For me, it started to become a scare tactic. I started to see that she started to want to uncover what I was.
I came out of a spiritual place into a human place with it because of a couple things. The kiss would keep me entranced. But then, and where I worked, it was all women. It was all women, and they were all ages, and they would come in for 30 minutes, and they would work out, and then they would leave.
But you told them stories.
But I was telling them all about my dating stories, so I was telling stories over and over all day long, and then it's like, but when it comes to Lee, I don't get it. So then I'm hearing things from other people, and I'm hearing, well, does he ever call at night? Do you ever see him at night? Do you call him, or does he always call you? And then I'm thinking, I'm only seeing this guy like before 5. I never call him. He always calls me. Sometimes I can text him like, hey, what's going on? But it's very short. It's very quick. In some other town, working, get back with you later type of thing. So then I'm thinking, because I'd asked him in a ton of emails, are you single? Really, what's going on? Yeah, I'm just very busy. I'm single. No, I'm not attached. I'm just very busy. He wasn't attached.
No, I really wasn't.
He just wasn't single. And so here I go. I'm thinking, well, he's married. He's got to be married. He's married. And I cared about that because I was single. And I didn't want to not see you, but I didn't want to see you if you were married.
Yeah.
And that became an issue with me. So then the email started coming with, what is this? And then you gave me the whole, you want to label our relationship? I don't think it should be labeled. It is what it is. And then the no sex factor came in.
Yeah, I wouldn't have sex.
Why won't he? Why is it
everywhere else?
Yeah.
But I was getting something more powerful from you, so I was like.
So then it became.
Just didn't want that to go away.
Yeah, it became a mission for me.
Yes, to get me to sleep with her.
Yeah.
See, men, it does happen to us. I told you, it happens to us.
It became a mission. So it became less. The kissing never became less of a spiritual experience. There was this one particular time when you were standing by the door, when you kissed me goodbye, that I saw some darkness in you.
Yeah, I had to flip the switch on.
And I was like, whoa.
I had to flip the switch on.
Right.
Because I was getting ready to leave.
Right. And I was like, whoa, what was that? What was that? So, we're not going to go too much farther. So,
No, I think we should go to the point of she got what she wanted. She did.
it became a mission for me.
But
And I was persistent. And actually, he was giving me a hard time about coming back over. I think you knew that it was getting close.
well,
It
you
wasn't
started
feeling the same.
finding me on other sites and all
I
that
did.
stuff,
I
and
started
I'm
doing some research.
and I was like, okay, she's getting a little
Yeah.
out of hand.
I started doing some research.
It was fine when there was just the kiss, right? The kiss and
Yeah.
that energy of whatever that was and
Yeah.
whatever that is. And I was like, no, but then when everything else started coming, I was
Yeah.
keeping up a mind game.
I started questioning you. Why are you on all these dating sites?
Well, it was even worse than that.
And
I mean, I was on sites for married women. Remember that?
yeah.
I was studying myself out, but
yeah,
I was wrong.
but then it happened. He came over, and the kiss happened, and we ended up upstairs, and
She pushed.
it was
We did.
yeah, and then it was a very spiritual experience, but a very
Hurtful.
hurtful experience. There it is.
The pain.
Very painful, not physically, obviously.
No.
Not physically, it wasn't painful at all. But family show. But after all is said and done, it was a quick exit. And it wasn't that I was like, please stay, please stay, please stay. Oh no, I was ready for you to roll because it didn't feel right. It didn't feel good.
Mm-mm.
And we barely kissed.
Yep.
We barely kissed.
Yep.
Before you left.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't wait for you to get out the door, and I could tell that you couldn't wait to go.
Yep.
And I don't think I'd ever seen you pull out of the driveway so fast.
I peeled tires.
And I knew as I stared out the window and I could feel the tears come into my eyes. I felt them. And I just started crying, and I knew that I wouldn't hear from you again.
Yep. And I knew that in me, what I thought was real wasn't real at all. Mm-hmm. I told myself that it just wasn't real.
Yeah.
And, what I thought was there was my mind playing tricks on me. So my mind had a backdoor in to tell me, nah, it didn't happen. No, something, it was weird, but, I could chalk it up to that.
Yeah. So I was telling myself the rest of that night, well, it's okay. He's married. You didn't want to get involved with that anyway. You're single. You can do what you want. Go out. Do what you want. Let this go. Let this go. Let this go. But I was planning on going out that evening. It was a Friday. And I couldn't bring myself to go out with my friends. I just stayed home and cried over I don't know what.
Was that September 26th? 2005?
2005.
September 26th. That's when it ended. For me, like I said, I had all other things to do, and I was still getting pieces here and there because I was broken. And I'll be honest, I think that was the beginning of the shatter. I was broken, but then you can also shatter, and that's what stage I was at next. Mm-hmm. So what I think everybody calls that is the runner. Mm-hmm. No, she chased me the hell out of there. Get it?
It was it was a very strange experience. That I wouldn't change.
No.
Now.
No,
I wouldn't change
not
it
at
now.
All. Not at all. Can't take back anyway.
Mm-mm.
But there was a whole lot of more to come. And,
for the
next 2 years, it was just I was completely out of control. Completely out of control, and was just, yeah, it got worse.
We'll stop there. We'll stop there because
This
we
is-
don't want to go. We don't want to go too
Yeah,
further.
because, oh, man, you guys, you're just not going to...
A lot coming up.
But-
A lot coming up.
I think that the most powerful thing that was experienced there in the kiss was the telepathy that started.
Yeah.
That we just didn't even know was planted, or
Right.
the root was uncovered.
Right.
So it's something that I guess you'll be watching for the next one.
Hey.
We love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Oh, don't forget.
Oh, right along
all
the
this
bottom.
stuff. Yeah.
That's how
What-
you can find us
what-
right there.
Really? Did you just put... Oh,
I did.
I love you. Bye, guys.
Bye.